Okay, I got the Z on the lift. We're gonna start cutting and welding stuff, and I'll show you what we're doing. Welcome back to the channel. Okay, so I've been thinking about my problem for the last week or so, and I came to the conclusion of what I'm gonna do, and I'm about to show you that. Okay, as you saw, I had those two boxes with these little twin wastegates here. They're just eBay 38mm wastegates, nothing crazy, weren't super expensive, but I'm hoping that by adding one on each bank, I can dump a ton of back pressure. So it'll kind of look something like this. I'll have to weld this on, but I have the one pipe coming on this side, and then I have this pipe coming out on this side, and these are the ones that are directly from the header. So that's the header flange down. I'll just shoot it down out of the car like that, blah, 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 blah. And then same on this side. Just kind of put it there, shooting straight down. I have just enough room to get both of these in there. And then, I'll basically be dumping back pressure off the header directly and back pressure off that header directly. So we should not have overpressure issues. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut some holes in this with a hole saw and then start welding them on. Okay, so I finished the welding and I have the wastegates up here. You guys can kind of see it above me. I hope that hope this works. I put the back pressure sensor back in, and I ran all my vacuum lines. Tried to tuck it behind the shield and stuff so that those don't get burned up. Still got the 3-inch downpipe that I added, which should be nice. So hopefully now we're on a big enough turbo, big enough downpipe, and enough wastegate to get rid of this back pressure. So next thing we need to do is basically just put this thing back on the dyno and see how it does. Okay, I just got finished making a couple dyno pulls, and obviously the car is getting hot as I'm making each pull, so the horsepower changes slightly, but the good thing is once I got up to 8 or 9 pounds of boost, it was only 2-to-1 on back pressure. So I'm kind of wondering if the problem, is definitely better than it was. So I was close to 3-to-1 on the smaller turbo with just a single 38 gate. So I think the best thing I could do is just to go up in boost level and see what happens. The best pull that I made at 9 pounds made 425 horsepower. So that's not too bad. That's the most I ever made was maybe 406 at 8 pounds on the small turbo. So we got 2 more pounds of boost. It's kind of in the same ballpark. I think this turbo is not really going to shine until I get it to the higher pressure ratios. I just don't know how high I can go on a on a stock DE motor. So I'm gonna think about it for a minute and then decide how risky I feel with the boost level. But the other thing is, obviously I'm tuning on a stock ECU, so I can't really just adjust the boost. I have to go under the car, pull both wastegates, and change the spring, and that's getting really annoying. And right now it seems like it's at 8 pounds of boost, which is kind of the highest that I would want to leave the base pressure. So I'm thinking I might have to figure out how to put a boost controller in this before I can go up much more in boost. So that might be my next task, is to figure out a boost controller. So, oh yeah, wait. Maybe it's just time to switch off my stock ECU and put the Haltech in it. Yeah, because the Haltech will have a boost control setup. So, okay. All right, I guess from this point on, I think it's time to figure out how to get the other controller in there and put the Haltech on it. Okay, let's go do that. Okay, it's several days later. To be fair, I think it's about 2 weeks later. Had a bit of work to catch up on, and also putting a whole new standalone isn't like a 10-minute process. I've got to write a base map and sort out how I want everything to run, and that takes a bit of time. But anyway, let me show you the progress where I'm at so far. As you can see, I have the stock ECU down here, and I've got the Haltech plugged in, and the car does fire up and run on the base map right now. and I need to install a few more gadgets to make things work a little bit better. I've got a pressure sensor and a wideband. If I had more time, I would probably just buy the wideband from Haltech that communicates over CAN, because the communication's so much faster and more reliable through the network that you can do a little bit more with it. But this will still be pretty darn quick. If you get the new AEM X series, it has the sensor ground, so there's no like offset voltage, so essentially it'll be accurate at all conditions, so this will be like a good second best option, I suppose. Okay, and then let me show you out here. This is the Haltech auxiliary harness. This plugs into the side of the Haltech and then allows you to run all kinds of different fun stuff. And this is kind of my favorite part about the ECU, because the factory ECU will read the CAN data off the car, so you have wheel speed sensors, all the information shoots to the dash, and it will run the basic sensors off the car, including it still takes like air temperature sensor off the MAF. But this gives us the ability to run like a boost controller, which I went ahead and plumbed the boost controller in and ran the wiring over, and I was trying to figure out which wires it goes to, so we got these all sorted out. So basically I'm going to wire this up, wire the wideband into it so I can get all the stuff in the data log all at one time, and then I'll get on to strapping her down and making some more dyno pulls. So obviously last time, a few weeks ago, we were stuck at about like 8 pounds of boost, and I'm hoping, I'll test it at different levels, but I'm hoping to get like 14 or 15 pounds at least. So I got to do a little bit of wiring, and then let's just see what it makes at the higher boost level. I can't wait to see. Okay, I just made the first dyno pull, and I had the boost controller set at 15%, which just barely turns it on. We were making about 8 PSI without any boost control. We're making 9.7 with the boost control, so it went up like about a pound, a little over a pound, and we went from about 380 something to like 400 exactly on the 9 pounds, which is great. Also, I noticed when I turn the controller on, it does seem like the torque is coming on just a little earlier, because it was feeling a little bit laggy on the new bigger turbo. So I don't know if you can see, I'll try to show you the screen. Basically, let's see, it's really hard to see from here, but 400 horsepower, about 355 or something like that torque, and you can see it's starting to broaden out the curve a bit. So hopefully we can turn the boost controller up a little bit more. I think I'm gonna do 25% duty, see what that does, and I'll update you after the next pull. Okay, it looks like we made about 440 horsepower, and the torque was like, maybe like 380, yeah, maybe 385 here. So 385, 440, that was at 13 pounds of boost, with just a little bit more timing in it. And I still think we have like a little ways to go, but definitely the horsepower isn't climbing as fast as it was getting to 400 horsepower. It seemed like we could get to 400 horsepower with somewhere between like 7 and 10 pounds of boost, but now with 3 more pounds, we're just kind of fighting for every horsepower. So I'm gonna do a little bit more testing and kind of like see what it does. But I don't know, I am getting just like a little bit nervous, because that's a lot of boost, and that's a very old stock motor. I really don't want to blow it up. Man, I don't know. So after making the last dyno pull, I made 440 horsepower and 380 torque. I can tell that the turbo that I have is it's obviously a little bit laggier than I might need to get, I need to spool a little faster to get to the horsepower I need before we hit the RPM limiter. So like on a stock Z, I've got to go into 7,500, which is already kind of higher than stock rev limiter. It's probably not too big of a deal at 75, but I don't know that I want to go to like 8 or 85 to get the number I need. I'm pretty sure it will blow up for sure. But maybe with like a better harmonic balancer, I would go like another 500 RPM, but probably not past that. So I don't know. I'm just really debating what to do from here, because 440 horsepower is pretty good. I'm sure with a little bit more tuning, it'll make right at 450. 450 horsepower at like 13, 14 pounds of boost sounds pretty good to me. It's like, do I risk blowing it up to just see if I can make it like to the 500 and beyond number? Anyway, I'm gonna stop the video there for now. You guys gotta tell me what you would do. Like, obviously I don't really feel like changing my motor, but I just really wanna see what's possible. I don't know, comment below. Should I change to a little bit better turbo that maybe spool a little quicker? I'm currently on a really big housing. I might be able to just change the housing down a size or something like that to get it to go faster. I think I need 500 RPM of spool time faster, and then I think I'm gonna need like 20 pounds of boost to get to like 500. So anyway, comment below, what would you guys do? I'd like to hear what you think. But all right, I'll see you guys in the next video.